Welcome to Gems with Genesis Amaris Camp. Today we will be chatting with Shanique MJ Davis, and we're going to talk about how she is breaking barriers. You do not want to miss this segment, so make sure you get a cup of water, some wine, some tea, so you can plug into this amazing segment. Welcome, Shanique. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely great. I was actually distraught the other day when I sent you a text or a voice note to say, I'm sorry I missed it because brain was not braining, but I'm doing great and I'm glad I'm here to share. Always happy to share, especially for you. You know, you've done so much for me, so I couldn't miss it.
Thank you so much. And for you listeners and viewers who do not know, Shanique and I are like soul sisters. We have not met each other face to face yet, but we met online. We're both Caribbean descent and we're both authors. And she has a phenomenal story, and I will not do it justice enough by sharing it. So I brought Shanique on today to share about her first book as well as the incredible things that she has coming up and coming down the pipe, because she is an influential woman and she is a force to be reckoned with. So, Shanique, I want you to start off by telling the listeners a little bit about who you are, where you're located, and how did you start breaking your barriers?
All right, great question to start. I am Shanique Davis. Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I am, as Genesis said, I'm an author. I am originally from Jamaica, born and grown, never been anywhere else. I'm becoming a more fun-loving person. And that's, of course, because I started breaking barriers. I have always been a person to be very quiet. I've always been very, by myself. I've always been one to hide away and shy away from every single opportunity. So before I started breaking barriers, I would not have been here doing a chat with you on recording to tell persons who I am and what I'm about. So I'm very grateful that I am now, as you said, influential. Not exactly where I want to be yet, but I am seeing where the changes I've made in my life is enough influence to show others that, hey, if Shani can do it, it can be done.
And I love, Shanique, how you said you're not where you want to be right now, but you are getting there, because that goes to show that this journey that you're on is a marathon. It's not a sprint, and it's a lifelong journey. And as long as you are willing to break your personal barriers to reach your level of success, because your level of success may not be the same level of success as your husband, your sister, or someone else in your life. It's your personal level of success, and that's going to look different. So, at what age did you break your first barrier, and what was it?
What age? Well, I would have to say it's about 2021. When I was an adult, I became an adult. So I was a young woman and I had always struggled with shyness. I was always very reluctant when I was called on to speak or to show anything. I always hide away. So it came to a point where I had been doing some reflections, and it just struck me that I've always been told that I have a lot of potential. I can do so much more. And I knew how proud other people were of me, but I just, for the life of me, couldn't express what I was truly about. And so at that age, I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I really got very sick and tired of not being able to achieve what I knew I could achieve. I knew that I could do better. I knew I could, excel. I could get the job that I wanted because I wasn't employed at the time. I was tired of people looking down on me. I was tired of having a degree in tourism and not doing anything with it simply because I could not get a job. I was so tired of feeling like my life was going to waste. So I just said, you know what, this is it. Enough of this. And so it was an intention for me, and I purposed in my heart to really, really make a difference in my life. And that's where it started, 2021.
So it started with self-reflection, you realizing your self-worth and knowing that you mattered and knowing that there was more. You knew what people were saying about you, that you had potential, and you also knew what other people were saying about you was not true, and you weren't going to let what they said about you be a limitation or a barrier. So you broke out of your shell, and it sounds like you're coming from a place of being introverted to being extroverted, where you are becoming, similar to Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. And sometimes it takes us just having that hard conversation with ourselves and having that self realization to realize that, hey, I matter just as much as somebody else. Like,
Mhm.
I need to step up to the place. I can hit the home runs, and I can be all the things that I desire and want to be. But it's so funny that you said 2021, because I would beg to differ, because your book, Breaking Your Barriers, Unraveling, Unraveling, no, Breaking Your Barriers, Change Unhealthy Life Cycles and Unravel the True You. That book was powerful. And I know that book came out, before you broke that barrier. So I want you to hold up your book right now, because that is a part of you.
Here it is.
And I want you to just lean in and just show that book cover to the audience and tell us more about why you named your book Breaking Your Barriers and the subtitle you gave your book. And then dig a little deep here. And even though you put your book out, you gave it the name that you gave it, why do you still say that 2021 was the year you broke that barrier?
I didn't actually mean the year 20. I mean, when I was 20 or 21, one of those.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So that was it. So looking at the title, Breaking Your Barriers, and you see how big barriers is. That is how, big the things that we let hold us back many times seem, but it is possible to break them. So as for the title, I remember I was at home one day and my husband and I were, just having a casual conversation about what I was going to do with this awesome manuscript I believe I was led to write for persons' lives to change for the better. And we heard this song on one of our favorite gospel stations, which is Love 101. And yes, we have, favorite gospel artists as well, local artists. And one of them, his name is Kevin Downswell. He came on and he was singing a song about Jesus stepped in, broke down my barriers. And when I really listened to that song, I said to myself, this man really understands what I was feeling. He knew exactly what to write in that song. And I'm saying, God, yes. So my husband suggested, why not call the book Breaking Barriers? But in my mind, I am somewhat a perfectionist. So I wanted more. Breaking Your Barriers wasn't enough for me. I just wanted so much more. So the following day, I was at home and I said, God, I was having devotion and I prayed. And after I prayed, I said, God, I know you called me to do something great. It is nerve-wracking. So I'm afraid. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. But breaking your barriers, I want something else. This is not enough. And just like that, Genesis, when I said just like that, I just heard change unhealthy life cycles and unravel it through you. And I just get a pen quick and fast, write it down. And I called my husband same time and I said, This is the title of the book, and that was it for me. Breaking Your Barriers, Change Unhealthy Life Cycles, and Unravel the True You. I broke some serious barriers. First one was fear, because like I said, I was very reluctant in stepping out. I didn't want people to feel badly because I was shining my light. I was that person. I used to be afraid to speak up because I felt like persons were going to feel badly about themselves, that, I'm young and I'm stepping out and doing great things. I never wanted for persons to feel badly about themselves. So I, kind of hid behind the curtains and stayed out of the light, the spotlight. So broke that barrier, and I said, I had a lot of unhealthy life cycles. I kept repeating bad behavior, negative thinking. I kept procrastinating. I had a habit of start and stop. I started so many projects, and I can't tell you what happened to them, because I just get up one day and I don't feel like I'm good enough at this. I see Genesis out there doing her thing. Maybe it's for her and not for me, because I'm taking too long to learn this thing. So I would stop for whatever excuse or reason I could find. I'd stop. And that is the unhealthy life cycle. You go so far and no more, because you keep running and bucking on a wall, and you go back and you come back again and you hit the same mark and you don't go beyond it. So that is the unhealthy life cycle. So after you break those and you change your cycle to better habits, then of course you will unravel your true self. I believe that every single person, whether you want to accept it or not, everyone has a true identity. Everyone is called to be somebody. No matter what you find yourself doing now, there is a true you that you need to uncover. And until you break the barriers, which is the thing that keeps you from moving forward, you won't unravel your true self. And so I had to just get rid of those and, come out and say, guys, it can be done. Nothing is impossible.
I love that, Shanique, because it does go through a period where you do have to realize who you are, your self worth, and you have to tune out the negativity. And that negativity could be those voices in your head, it could be your family and your friends not believing in you because they don't understand your vision, or they don't understand the gifts and the talents that God has placed deep down inside of you. That they'll try to tell you, oh, Gel, why you want to do that? You're crazy. Or why are you thinking the way you're thinking? Why are you behaving the way that you're behaving? Are you okay? Or I don't think that's gonna work. Or why are you podcasting? Are you making any money doing it? You have all these people or whatnot, and they'll tell you all these different things. And then you see, if you start to let it take root, then it begins to put you into a frame of mind that could cause you to easily slip back into those limitations. And those limitations could very well be those barriers that you are trying to break. But if you never break your barriers, as your book says, and change those unhealthy life cycles of starting something, then stopping because you allow those negative voices to creep in, then you won't unravel the true you. And I like the fact that you are being true to who Shanique MJ Davis is, because I see you on Instagram doing your things, promoting your book. I see you talking to people. You opened up your platform, TalkTruth Series, where you allow other authors and other people who have something worth sharing to come on your platform free of charge without expecting anything in return. Yes, they give promises, but some of them don't always fulfill their promises. But that's not on you, that's on them. Because if they said something that they were going to do, they should own their word. And as Michelle Obama says, your word is your bond. If you say you're going to do something, then stay true to yourself, to the person that you said that you were going to deliver that commitment and your word. Now I want to go a little bit deeper, Shanique, because I know there is so much gems inside of you that needs to be pulled out and brought to the surface. I want you to tell the listeners about how you came into starting your own platform called TalkTruth Series and the name behind it, because we all talk, we all want truth, and we're all on some type of series, whether we're on a series watching Netflix, whether we're in a series in our life, or whether we are on a series of trying to get stuff done. Or you, you know how it is. So go ahead, take us away.
Awesome question that I don't get asked a lot, and I'm always happy to share. So I remember putting out information that, hey, I am publishing a book, or this is the book, and I would love for everyone to just, take the opportunity and secure one for themselves, because I knew deep down that, it changed me and I knew it could change somebody else. So after publishing the book, Breaking Your Barriers, I was invited to 2 platforms. The first one was on Facebook, just like we're doing now. They invited me to share live, and it was about an hour or an hour and a half. I don't know this. I did not know this person. She just saw the book. She bought it. She went through it and it did something to her. And she said, I want to meet Shanique Davis. And so she invited me to talk about my book. That was right after COVID. And then another church sister of mine invited me on her YouTube channel, and she asked me about my book. And, after that, that did something to me as well, because I never expected to be invited to share what God did for me and all of that. So I started to take note of, my environment and everybody else that was writing. But one thing was missing for sure. I got a good start, and that was getting exposure to my message. And I realized that as an author, if you don't have an audience, if you're not yet a celebrity, then that's kind of hard. So I took it upon myself to start off by practicing to speak, because I needed a little more English training. So I started Talk Truth Tuesdays on Instagram. And at the time, I used to get like 3 to 5 viewers. And then I decided to open it up to authors and entrepreneurs who would basically have a similar story to mine to offer to the world, to share with them that, transformation is possible. And now I have an audience of more than 3 to 5 people per Tuesday and Thursday night. So it's a growing platform. I see how people are grateful they have the opportunity, and I'm grateful that I got a chance to be a part of their legacy. So I have decided to continue doing Talk Truth series, not limited to Tuesdays, but now I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if somebody else is available at a different date, I'd be happy to share with them on another day as well.
I love how you unpack that, because it shows the consistency there. It also shows your grit and your resilience, because you were selfless. You had a book, other people reached out to you because your book spoke something to them. And then it encouraged you to the point where you said, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to give other people like me a platform, because even though they may be unknown to others, they are somebody and they mean something, and they have a mission to share. And that mission that they're sharing is going to be valuable to someone, whether they listen right now, a year from now, 5 years from now, or 10 years from now. You are building that foundation, that pipeline, and that legacy by just curating TalkTruth Series and just being bold, being courageous, being unapologetically Shanique MJ Davis. I want you to put some weight on your name because you are going places. And just like you said earlier, you may not be where you want to be right now, but you are still planting those seeds, and those seeds are being fertilized. Those seeds are being nurtured, and those seeds are going to produce an abundant harvest. And you're a woman of faith, and you know what it takes, despite getting knocked down and having to get back up, despite getting no's and having to say, okay, what's that next opportunity? What's that next opening? I'm not going to let that no have a negative connotation. Why? Because I'm Shanique MJ Davis. I got something going for me. And that led you to writing your new book, Don't Let It Ruin the Life of the Party. Viewers, look at this book right here. Let me zoom in. You see that? Let's talk about that, Shanique.
So it's funny that you'd ask because, even after breaking my barriers, one thing that I try to put in every time someone asks is, if you notice, there is the word breaking on the cover of the book. So it was originally break your barriers. And I changed it to breaking because life is a continuous thing. So you have to keep going every day. So I wanted to keep it in the present tense. So you have to keep working on yourself, keep improving, keep learning. When you fail, you get up, you try something else. So I wanted to keep that motion going. So even though we are breaking barriers, just bear in mind that there will always be something to get over. And for me, one thing I had always, battled with from I was very young was stubbornness. It's not something that I was proud of, and it does have its good and bad sides. And so I realized that me being stubborn a lot of the times would actually ruin any environment. Imagine everyone comes together and we're having a good time and I decide not to participate, or I have a negative attitude towards something, then, it spoils the mood. So I didn't want to say how stubbornness, but I wanted to give it, a little oomph. I wanted persons to be excited because life can sometimes be that party that we all want to get invited to. So I want persons to be encouraged to live their best lives. I know that we're all stubborn in our own way. Yes, it kind of, it breaks friendships, it breaks relationships, but then it comes a time when you have to be stubborn with the right things. But I want you to get, there's a difference. It's a thin line, but there is a difference. And I want you to enjoy the ride. Enjoy the journey to becoming your best self. And don't let it, whatever it is, don't let it ruin the life of the party. Wherever you go, just be your best self. Participate, have fun, greet somebody, help somebody, and just be you authentically and unapologetically. Don't ruin the life of any party. Just have fun with whatever you do. That was the grand idea.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Listeners and viewers of Gems with Genesis Amaris Kemp, if you have not tapped into Shanique MJ Davis, I encourage you to go out there and follow her. And she's going to give us her contact information in a moment. But she has 3 books out. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. She has
Yes,
an an incredible platform called TalkTruth Series, and she loves helping people. I guess that's one of her love languages, is she's a giver.
just
And
like you.
before we come to a close, I'm going to throw a wild card out there for some of you who may not know me personally. I love to play games and I love to impact as well as unpack. So, Shanique, I want you to get ready for 10 questions with
Ooh.
10, the host with the mostest. So, question number 1. How old were you when you got married?
I was 22.
22. Woo! Favorite food?
Favorite food is turkey neck. I don't
Ooh.
know if you
Yeah,
turkey neck.
me no turkey neck, me a Caribbean woman. Favorite color?
Blue.
Ooh, okay, we can hang.
Mhm.
Favorite vacation spot?
I don't have a favorite spot yet, but if I had a favorite spot, it would be somewhere near food and water. Somewhere
Okay.
river beachy. Yeah.
Okay, well, where do you want to go?
Listen, I want to come and pay you a visit because I heard it's nice over there. Yeah. So I want to come there one day. Don't worry. It's in the making.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie?
What? Favorite movie? I don't have a favorite one. I love animated movies. Flushed
Okay,
away. Let's go with Flushed Away.
flushed away. Okay, because I was about to say pass or smash. Okay, just
I love Flushed Away.
favorite saying.
Favorite saying. You serious? It's a Jamaican thing. Are you serious? You serious? For true? Yeah.
Favorite song.
Favorite song, I'm gonna give you a worship song right now. And it's by William McDowell, My Heart Sings. I love that song. It gets me in the vibe,
For my listeners and viewers who don't know that song, sing a small part of the chorus. I love this, y'all. You should see her facial expression for those of you who are not seeing the video but listening to the audio. I'll go post the video link so you can see it because it's epic.
All right, let me try something for you. How can I describe a God that's indescribable? How can I explain a love that's unexplainable? I'm at a loss for words. Oh, my heart sings. Oh, I should do nothing more.
Yes. Favorite. Beautiful. Beautiful. She took us away, y'all. She took us to church. Favorite fruit.
Girl, it has to be the best fruit ever. I don't care what anybody says. It is the best. Mango. I will have dozens of mangoes.
Mango. Okay. Favorite car.
Oh, girl, I thought you'd never ask. I like RAV4. I like CRV. But my favorite is Range Rover.
Ooh,
Listen.
okay.
Range Rover.
So she went from the practical cars to the big puppies. And for y'all who don't know the Caribbean term, Big Papi is like the big baller call, the shot callers, the money maker cars, the Dallas. And then last question, if you could go back in time and talk to anyone, who would it be and why?
I would talk to my mommy because she left me very early, not that she intended to. I was only 15. I would go back and, tell her that I love her and I appreciate everything that she has done for me and for teaching me how to be a good woman. I would ask her a trillion questions, but to just, salute her for helping me to hold my head up.
Oh, that is beautiful. And I see the sentimental there. And as we come to a close, Shanique, I want you to tell the listeners of Gems with Genesis Amaris Kemp how to connect with you on social media, the name of your books again, and then if they personally want to reach out to you, please give your email address if you feel compelled to do so.
All right. So, first things first, I want to tell you all that breaking your barriers is a right, and you absolutely have to seal that right because it was given to you the minute you were born. A lot of us have, neglected it, but you have to seal that right and start breaking your barriers. I know that you've been hearing a lot from authors, what's the point of self-help books, yada, yada, yada. But the thing is, I can promise you that, there's no other book like it. There is no other book that addresses the inconsistencies of the inner man in such a precise yet profound way. And it is simple to read. Don't miss out on the opportunity to live your best life. I'm telling you, you ought to check out the reviews on Amazon. So the book is on Amazon in both paperback and e-version. The books are also in Jamaica. If there is anybody here from Jamaica who might watch this, it's at Brian's Bookstores, York Pharmacy, and Sangster's Bookstores. And if you want to connect with me, I'm not very hard to reach. I don't have a secretary, as Genesis always says. You can message me directly. I don't mind. So you find me on Facebook at Shanique MJ Davis, on Instagram, same name, or at this Shanique, that's the word this, THIS, and my first name, all lowercase. I have a WhatsApp number on my profile. You can message me at 1-876-882-1229. And my email address is shaniquemjdavis@gmail.com.
And there you have it, listeners of Gems with Genesis Amaris Kemp. I've had the pleasure of unraveling my true you and changing my unhealthy cycles by breaking barriers with Shanique MJ Davis. And until we chat next time, peace, love, and blessings.